Hi, YouTube. There might be a little bit of a delay, I think. I think the little delay.
There we go.
Okay. Watch it now.
Turn my sound off.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. There's someone here. Wait, moderation helps. Okay. Close. Okay. All right, so first question. Would it be good for me to sell my home in Florida to live with my daughter in Hawaii? Okay, so instead of asking, good morning, be kind to all. Instead of asking, would it be good? I think I'm going to ask, how would it be, right? How would it be if I sold my home in Florida and went to live with my daughter in Hawaii? So I think that the card I'm going to use is ship, because that will be for, moving. Okay. So we're just going to cut into 3. And these are only going to be 5 card readings. Okay. All right. So we're just looking for the ship. And we're asking about this potential move, sale of your house and move to Hawaii. Okay. So here's the ship. That stands for this big adventure.
Tell people one question each.
Can you not? And here we go. Okay. So these are interesting. The cards that we have for you are bouquet, snake, ship, cross, and rider. I feel like this is not as simple as it sounds. I mean, who doesn't want to move to Hawaii, right? So originally it looks like it sounds like, it would be a gift to be able to do that, to live in a beautiful place, to be near your daughter, all of that. But I see that there's a reason you're asking the question, because I don't think the answer is rhetorical, which would be, yes, right? Here, there are issues involved. But I can mirror this snake, which is a problem, card for a problem, with the cross. Now, the cross is also a problem everything's mirrored. The cross is also a problematic card. But I also think that in this case, it would, some of your issues, your problems that you've been having would be eliminated. You'd be putting those to rest with this move. So I can mirror the bouquet with the rider. You know what? And I know there's going to be a lot of people here. I just want to pull a clarifier on this cross. Okay. I think it's a good move. Here's the cross, and then we have the ring. Here's your daughter, and then we have the key. And you know that I love the key. I think it would be a very good decision. I really do. Moving is never easy. It's always hard to say goodbye to people, places, and things, but I do think it would be a good move for you. So congratulations and good luck on that. Okay, what's the next one?
I just started creating my own oracle deck. I'll be designing and writing. Any advice as I undertake this love project?
And who is this for?
Taurus R.
Okay, Taurus R is doing an oracle deck and wants to know how that process will go. Okay, so for that, I'm going to use the letter, and the letter will stand for your deck. Okay, so I'm just going to cut into 3. Cut into 3. And we're looking for the letter this time. Sorry I didn't give any preamble to this broadcast. I just want to get into the readings, as soon as I possibly could. But as you can imagine, 1 question per person, please. Don't ask me about your money because I'm not your financial advisor. Okay, this will stand for that oracle deck. And I'm taking the 2 cards and putting them to the left, and then I still have cards in my hand, putting them to the right. Okay, this is an easy one. So we have key, we have the moon, we have the letter in the center that stands for your deck that you're creating. We have garden, and we have birds. I really love these cards for you. First of all, I love the key. As you know, it opens doors, it answers questions, etc. But I can mirror this first card with the last card. So I'm mirroring this key with birds. So the key is also not just the creation of the deck, but you really need to spend some time thinking about how you're gonna advertise this. That's this card here. When I'm on regular YouTube, it's not all reversed like this, but here it is. Think about how you're going to spread the word about this oracle deck, because it's great to have a deck, but I'm assuming that you want other people to access it, to buy it, right, to use it. So you need to think hard about that. I love the moon mirroring the garden. I think that you will do a good job in the advertising piece of this. The garden is people knowing who you are, and you will become known for this oracle deck. I think it's great. Best of luck. It sounds terrific. Just make sure that you've got a marketing plan.
Does my deceased cat visit me? Do pets keep the connection?
Okay. Who's this?
Suhei.
Okay, Suhei asks, does my deceased cat visit me? Do pets or animals keep their connections with us once they've passed over? Well, I mean, I'm going to say yes and yes, but I'm going to look for you. Now, in Lenormand, as you may have discovered, there is no cat, but there's a dog. And so the dog will represent your cat. I know that's weird, but that's how we do it. Okay, that's how I do it. Okay, so I'm just cutting the deck, and I'm going to look for the dog, and this will be your cat, and we'll see. Maybe she or he has got a message for you. So we'll see. Okay, so I know it's a dog, but this is your cat. Okay. So, another clear message. We have the tower, the cross. Here's your cat, Clover, and then here's you. And there is a message. The message is that you are feeling lonely because your cat passed. This is a card for loneliness, and you're mourning the loss of the cat. That's also the cross. But the message from your cat, sorry dog, but this is a cat, is they want you to take this and turn it into this. This is the card for happiness. This is the card for the kind of happiness that's like, Christmas morning happiness, excited happiness. I feel like they could also be encouraging you to get another animal because they know that you're lonely. Because here's this card mirroring this loneliness card. They won't feel any type of way, jealous or anything like that if you were to get another cat. I think if you got another cat, they would see it as you sort of honoring the experience that you had with them and wanting to have another different new experience with another feline friend. And I think that that it would make both you and your cat in spirit really happy. So I'm sorry about your loss, but yes, they are with you and they want you to be happy.
Lily wants to know if she will get a better car soon.
Okay. So Lily wants to know if she's going to get a better car soon. And so believe it or not, the card, just like the card for cat is dog, the card for car is ship. And this time we're gonna sort of imbue the ship with the energy of a new car for you, Lily. Okay. Just cutting and looking for the ship. Deep in the deck, but that doesn't mean anything, so don't worry about that. Here it is. Okay, this stands for a new car. Okay, so Lily, we have the tree, we have the child, this is the car, we have the mice, and we have the tower. I feel like you've been waiting for a while, it seems like, because that's this. You do want something new. That's true. But, we have mice here. So that's making me think maybe you should scale down your expectations, and, maybe a gently used car or a certified car, something like that. Um, this is the card for like a bank. I know there's a lot of glare on the screen. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, a bank, so if you were getting a loan for this car, I just think scale down your expectations and either get something smaller or something that is gently used if you are okay with that. Okay.
Phoenix rising. Will I be in a serious relationship within the next year?
Okay. Phoenix rising wants to know whether they'll be in a new relationship, a serious relationship. Well, yeah, we don't want to be in anything but a serious relationship in the next year. So I'm going to use the heart for that, because when people say relationship, serious relationship, they're talking about love. So we're going to look at the heart with an eye towards what's coming in or not for you in the next year. Okay. Okay, remember, we're looking for the heart. Oops. I don't know how these cards got mixed up, but they did. Okay. I hope you all get a chance to watch the video that I put up, the Sunday conversation video. It was a really good discussion, and I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, deep in the deck. So here is a new serious relationship. And I'm putting the cards that precede it and then the cards that follow it. So we have the child, the ring. This is card for the relationship. We have the mountain and we have the anchor. If I were doing a longer reading, I could look into the why of what I'm going to say. But I think that, you may have had relationships that have been short-lived, like one after the other, after the other, after the other, which is why you were specific, saying that you wanted a serious relationship. So you probably met a lot of people, but, nothing that lasted. The thing is that following the heart, we have the mountain. And if that weren't enough of a stuck card, we have the anchor. So, maybe 2025 should be the year where you assess, why are you attracting these, people who are unserious? Look at yourself and figure out what some of that's all about, because that will then switch up the energy of these two cards. As things stand now, and remember that cards are just a sort of a snapshot in the moment. So that means that these can change, but they won't change without you taking some action first. And it seems to me like you may be attracting sort of these serial, immature people. So it might be worth your while to examine why that is.
Extraterrestrial. Shalom. What should I do concerning my daughter who has blocked my grandchildren from me?
Mm-hmm. Shalom. Okay. I think what I'll do is look at your daughter and see what's going on with her in relation to this question. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use the young woman for her. Oh, and she pops up as the first card. Now, of course, if she's the first card, she's going to be in the first card position. And then I'm going to pull the rest of the cards around it. Okay. So we have your daughter, and then we have the book, the crossroads, the anchor, and the house. There's a lot of this going around, by the way. Young people will call millennials, I'll say, who are are choosing to kind of divorce their parents or their family of origin because they feel that the parents have crossed boundaries, whatever. Okay, it's a thing. So you're not alone. There are a lot of people in this position. So here she is, and I can mirror her with the last card, which is the house. It's as though she's saying, listen, I want to do my child rearing my way. I don't want to hear your advice. I don't, which I will take as interference. And my house, my rules. That's the message. Now, it's interesting that the card that follows her is the book, because it's why you asked the question. I don't think she gave you a reason. This is also, by the way, typical of millennials. They don't necessarily make an announcement or write a letter. They just kind of fade away and leave you kind of in the lurch, not knowing what the deal was. What's that all about? Now, you won't know for a while, because the card I can mirror it with is the fourth card. This is the anchor. She is intransigent. She is stuck in her position. And then in the center, we have the crossroads. This is her choice. I understand that it's painful, and I understand that it's confusing, but it's her choice. And maybe one day she'll wake up and realize that maybe sort of no contact is not necessarily the most mature response, but she's got a lot of company in this millennial generation. So she'll get a lot of confirmation from friends and things saying, "This, yeah, that's what I did too," or, "Sure, you have a right to that." You just have to bear it, is what you have to do. It just is what it is. You cannot change this. She feels that maybe you were too intrusive. Whether you were or not, it's her perception. So what can you do? Wish her well from afar, light candles, pray for your grandchildren, and bear it, because it is what it is. I'm sorry. I know that's hard.
Linda, what would be a good type of job for me to go into?
Melinda's asking.
Linda.
Oh, Linda's asking what would be a good type of job to go into. Listen, that is quite the open-ended question, but I'm going to look. Now, you said job. You didn't say career, so I'm going to take you at your word and use the card for job. And the job card is the fox. Okay, so we're going to see what would be. Okay, here we go. All right. Had you said career, I would have used the moon, but job is sort of, how you earn your money to pay your rent kind of thing. And that's what you asked, so that's what I'm going to look for. So here's the job card, putting that in the middle. 2 cards to the left and 2 cards to the right. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So we have the tree, we have the birds. Here's our job card. We have the bouquet, and we have the sun. So I'm just going to say in a sentence, I think you want something that, I don't think you're thinking about just like a job job. I think you're thinking about something that you can do for a good long while, maybe even your whole career. Because this is a card where you plant roots, and you're there long enough to grow the trunk and the branches and the leaves of a tree. I think that you probably are good with other people. So you want to be doing something that involves other people. This is not a solitary kind of career. And then the other 2 cards that are after the fox, the bouquet and the sun, this is really nice. The bouquet is any kind of career that lends beauty to the world. So that means anything like visual performing arts, maybe working in a museum or an art gallery, or anything that is kind of arts related. And then we have the sun. The sun, I'm looking at this birds together with the sun. So if you really have no idea, maybe doing PR, for example, in an arts related field would be a good place to start. I hope that's helpful.
Will Holly reserve her health issues next year?
Holly wants to know if she'll resolve her health issues in this coming year. And the card for health, we've seen the card in a different context in this session, and it's the tree. The tree is the card for health in all forms: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. So we're going to look for the tree and just see where that falls. This is Holly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so let's look. I'm sorry, I know I talk fast. I'm trying to get, as many of you in as possible without shortchanging you on the answers that I give. So, okay, Holly, here's your health. Put that right there. Okay, I like these cards for you. We have the key, and as I've said many times, the key is one of my favorite cards. To me, I call it the fraternal twin of the sun card, which is considered the best card in the deck. The key opens doors, answers questions, unlocks things, and that's great. I do think that you will get some answers to some of your health issues in this coming year. And I'm looking at the last card, and it will put you on a much better footing. I like this anchor for you. And this will be new information. That's the child here. We have the tree in the middle, and new information will come to you. This is about messages, news coming in. So you will get new information that I feel like will absolutely improve your health in 2025. So that's very good news.
The stars aligned. Can you tell me if my oldest son will find a job in the next 3 months?
Okay, stars aligned is asking whether their son will find a job in the next 3 months. I think I'm going to, instead of using the job card, I'm going to use your son and see whether a job is around him or what information we can get about the job situation. So I'm going to use the young man card. Okay. Pop right up. Okay, so this will represent your son. Okay, so you're asking me about the next 3 months. So we have the child, we have the dog, we have your son, we have the mountain, and we have the coffin. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like your son may be spending a lot of time with people, places, and things that are not the best. Because this is a card for immaturity, and this is the card for the people that you hang around with. And I say that because, of course, he's in the middle, because we've got mountain and coffin, and these are two sort of stuck energies. So I don't think in the next 3 months, he will pop up with a job, maybe in the 4th month, maybe in the 5th month. But I think in these next 3 months, these first 3 months of 2025, he will still be about that life, as they say. I'm unserious about finding something that really works for him. So just we can, again, cards are mutable. Situations are mutable, meaning that they can change. But the way that it looks right now, I don't think so in the next 3 months. Sorry.
Is Linda taking the right steps to improve her health next year into 2025?
Okay, is Linda, you know what? I like these health questions, by the way. These are the kind of questions that I can answer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not playing one here on YouTube, but I certainly can generally look at people's health. So Linda wants to know if the steps that she's taking for her health will benefit her moving forward in this next year. So I'm going to look for the tree again, and this time we're looking at Linda's health. Okay. Okay, so Linda, this is the card for your health. Okay, and the cards are the garden, the house, there's the health card, mice, and scales. I'm going to say that whatever plan you're on, or whatever protocol you've thought about pursuing, it looks like, yes, you will find balance. I like this card. This is a card that I actually added to the deck, so I like seeing this card here. I can mirror it with the garden, and I feel like what I want to say is just balance the time that you spend with other people against the time that you spend on your own, because these two cards are kind of opposite. This was the first card. This is the second card. So this is being out and about in public. This is being home. So it's seeking some balance there. And the reason I'm sort of hesitant is because we've got this mice card. This is a card about worry and anxiety. So to whatever degree, for example, you are agoraphobic or hesitant about being around other people, it's important to have a good balance between alone time and being outward facing. And if you're doing that, then I think you'll have a better 2025.
Lotus Radiance. How will my career change go to start my therapy business?
Okay, Lotus Radiance is asking about her career. She's a therapist, and she wants to know how that business will go. Okay, so I'm going to use the moon for that because that's career, and we want to know how your counseling, we'll call it counseling business, will go in 2025. Okay. So we're looking for the moon. Okay, so this will stand for your counseling business. Gotta say, I like these cards for you. We have the bouquet, we have the book, we have the moon, we have the tower, we have the dog. Okay, so I will say that, this is the card that lends beauty to everything. So to whatever degree, for example, if you have a physical space where you do your work, I think that you will have made it really inviting, really beautiful, really warm and friendly. I can mirror this card with the dog, and the dog is the card for the counselor, the therapist. So I love that. I think that's terrific. So you've got all of the right, the ambiance and all of that. You've also got the right personality for it, I think, with these two cards. The thing that the thing that you maybe want to work on is the business aspect of it, because we have the book. The book is about things that we maybe don't know about so much, and it's mirrored with this tower. And tower is like the business end of things. So I'm just going to say, for example, it might be worth hiring a virtual assistant to help with I don't even know if that's what it's called. Virtual or not virtual, somebody to help you, for example, with your bookkeeping, I think would be really, really helpful, because I think that is not your forte. And, it's somebody else's forte. So I would be sure to get help with the bookkeeping end of it so that you can focus on what you really want to focus on, which is sort of making people feel good about their lives. Hope that's helpful.
Melody, is this a good time to build?
Okay. So, you know how I'm a teacher, right? So I can't help myself. The question was from Melody, is this a good time to build? What does that even mean? I'll pull 3 cards. It'll give us a yes or no. I could have given you a clearer answer if I knew what we were talking about, but that's okay. Is this a good time to build? All right. Yes. I was going to say yes before I pulled the cards, so I'm glad the cards agree with me. Clover, this is a perfect time to build. And it's a perfect time because remember what I always say about Clover is that Clover is lucky and it's quick. So it's about seizing the moment, right? Don't let the moment pass you by. So yes, it's the right time to build. But again, don't be hasty. Don't be sloppy. Be careful as you do what you do. And also be sure that it's not in a vacuum. This is the card for conversations. So to whatever degree you need guidance or advice or, just a circle of, because this is more than one person, a circle of people who can cheer you on or hold you back in the best way, I would access those people. But yeah, I think it's a great time to build. Good for you.
Paul, will the lawsuit against our contractor be favorably resolved soon?
Okay, Paul wants to know how the lawsuit against their contractor will be resolved and whether it will be resolved soon.
Favorably.
Sorry?
Favorably.
Favorably. Yeah, I said soon already. Favorably. Yeah, whether they'll win their lawsuit against the contractor. Now, I don't love yes/no questions, but I'm going to change the question. How will this lawsuit against our contractor go? And I'm going to use the tower for that because the tower is all things law, among other things. Okay. So how will this lawsuit with the contract against the contractor go? Remember, we're looking for the tower. Okay, so this stands for the lawsuit. Okay, the cards that we have are the cross, the birds, the tower standing for the lawsuit, young man, and clouds. All right, again, I'm going to say that this is a snapshot in the moment. And so if there are things that you haven't done, like, I don't know, evidence or documents maybe that have not been presented to the court, witnesses that haven't been asked to testify, you might want to pull those out because I don't love a reading that begins with the cross, especially when the last card on the line is the clouds. I mean, it seems from this reading that that things are in favor of the contractor. I'm sure that contractors are not unused to suits, right? So they know their way around this, and this may be your first time, having to do something like this. So this does not look optimistic. So if I were you, I would, talk to your attorneys, see what else you need to do in order to change the trajectory of these cards. Because again, cards are mutable and outcomes can be changed, but you should know right now it doesn't look terrific for your side. Sorry. Okay, what's next?
Chris is Franco-American living in France, building a business in the States. Do you think he'll be successful? Or she?
Okay, so this is for who?
Chris
Chris, who is living
in
in
France.
France, but building a business in the US and wanting to know how that will go. You know what? Let's let Spirit, it's Sunday. Let's let Spirit decide all the cards for this 5-card reading. Okay. All right. All right. So it's not that it's random, because it's not random. I'm choosing the cards that I feel pulled to draw. But I am not choosing any card in advance. Okay, interesting cards. We've got the Whip, the Sun. I don't know, Chris, if you're male or female, but this is the card that represents you. And then we have the Star and the Book. I am going to pull a clarifier on the book or two. Okay, so, it's not, I'm sure, I've never started a business, but it's not the easiest thing. And I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to do in a transatlantic way. So this is about hard work. And because you are in a different country from where the business is, there's maybe things you don't know about how things are proceeding, right? You can't know everything just because you're not on this side of the fence. You're not here where the business is. I do like the Sun and the Star, which are the 2 cards that flank you here. I think that things will go well. I do think things will go well. And then I decided to pull some clarifiers on the book because, when the line ends with the book, this is a line saying, we don't know. This is stuff we don't know. So I'm trying to sort of manhandle the book, rip it open so that we can see inside. And the cards that I get are the House, the Bear, and the Bouquet. I like these very much. I think that, be sure you're checking on things. Maybe take a couple of trips back here to see how it's going. I like this because this is a card for a boss. So this also would represent you. And then the Bouquet is you being rewarded for your hard work. So I think things will be fine. Just be sure that whoever is handling things over here is telling you all that you need to know. I'm not saying that you should doubt them. I'm just saying, just because you physically are not seeing things with your own eyes, be sure that the eyes that you have watching things for you are informing you of what you need to know. That's all.
Not really a question. No, Alabama. Woke up 4 days ago. Aches, pains, numbness on my right side. Oh, it is a question. Effects from a spider bite? Question mark. Won't go away.
Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, and so you can keep this on in the background. Call your doctor. Call your doctor. Next question.
Okay, hang on. Barbara, I'm wondering if you see me developing a committed love relationship in the next year. If so, how can I assist the process? If not, how best to reconcile emotionally?
Okay, that's a lot of questions. That's slick, Barbara. 3 questions in one. I see what you did there. Okay, so I'm going to look for the heart again, because that's a committed relationship. And in a 5-card reading, I may very well not be able to answer all of your questions on that, but we'll get a sense of things. Okay. So again, we're looking for the heart. Okay, so this is committed love. Okay, so we have for you, Barbara, the scales, the crossroads, there's our heart, the whip, and the tower. I'm going to say that with crossroads here, whoops, this is not crossroads. Okay, so scales. Scales is about balance, in this case, balance. Crossroads is about choices. And I mirror choices with whip. Here's what I'm going to say, because I'm looking at the scales and I'm mirroring that with the tower. Here's what I'm going to say. Do I see committed love coming in right away or in the course of the year? No, but that is not to say that it won't. What the cards are saying is that there has to be something that you do first. And the something that you have to do first is, and you talked about it in your third question. Your third question was, if love doesn't come in the next year, how do I reconcile myself to that? And Scales and Tower says that it's really important to, date yourself. My father said to me, well, my father would go to restaurants once a week. I lived in New York, and every week he would go to a German restaurant by himself, which I thought as a kid was just the weirdest thing I ever heard in my life. Like, why would you go to a restaurant by yourself? So finally, I got up the nerve and I said, why are you going to a restaurant by yourself? And he looked at me, he smoked a pipe, and he was puffing on his pipe, and he looked at me and he said, until you are good company for yourself, until you learn to cultivate your own company, you're not good company for anyone else. These cards are suggesting that you need to cultivate your own company. And this doesn't mean sort of just being okay with being alone. It means cultivating your own company, enjoying the person that you are, enjoying the things that you enjoy. Because what will happen energetically is that you'll communicate that out. And that is what will draw committed love to you. If you come to this quest from a dissatisfied state, a state of dissatisfaction with who you are in the world, that is what communicates itself. So you're being asked, this is my father talking, to cultivate your own company and then watch the miracle that derives from that.
Gary said, my nephew is contesting my father's will. He is a 7-time felon. How will the court case go?
Gary? Is last name? Okay, Gary, let's see how that court case will go. So Gary's nephew is contesting Gary's father's will. And this nephew is a 7-time felon. I'm sure the court will look kindly on that. Not. And he wants to know how this contesting of this will go. All right, so let's see. I'm going to use the tower for the court case. Okay. I don't think you have to worry, Gary. So we have the older man, we have the garden, we have the tower, we have the fox, and we have the stork. And I'm saying you don't have to worry because the stork is the last card, and this is the card for positive change. I think that this nephew will be seen for who he is, a trickster, a 7-time felon. I'm just saying, con, right? And so I wouldn't worry about that. All of that will be made public record because and In fact, this is something out in public. Well, what's out in public? The fact that this nephew of yours, sorry, is no damn good. That will be made public. So I think you don't have to worry.
Brady, have I ever been abducted by ETs? Yes, there's a reason I'm asking.
Okay, Brady's, see, now this is a good training for me, and I'm going to tell you why. There's some questions I get, and I'm like, what? That's why it's a good reminder to me when these kind of things happen. Erica, all you are is the vehicle. You are just the messenger. It is not your job to judge somebody's question. It's to ask the question and then give the person the information. So the question is, have I ever been abducted by, well, you know, a lot of people actually are asking that same question. What with these drones and things that they're flying around? Okay, have you ever been abducted by an alien or an extraterrestrial, we'll say? Let's be nice. Alien's never a good word, just saying, but by an extraterrestrial. All right, it's yes, no, so I'm gonna just pull 3 cards and see what we get. You know, I'll pull 5 because okay. You know, I never love when a card starts with the cross. As a rule, it tells me that the question is a non-starter. This is not Erica saying this. This is a traditional way of reading cards. When you have the cross as the first card, it's like, okay, next question. I mean, the universe is not interested in answering it. But I do feel as though you feel that there's something that happened to you a long time ago when you were a child. That's what I think. This could be a parent figure. This could be you in the center, because I'm always fascinated by what's actually in the center. And I think you're trying to figure some things out. You know, you're trying to achieve some sort of balance relative to how you feel. I'm just going to say, I don't know that that is the first answer that I would leap to, is that I'm abducted by aliens. But yeah, that's not the first conclusion that I would leap to. No. Okay.
Rosalie Gallagher.
Hi, Rosalie.
I'm debating getting recertified in rehab counseling, but I'm retired from it and don't think I'll ever use it again. But I worked hard for it. So should I let it go?
Okay. Okay, here's another teachable moment. You don't want to ask the cards any kind of should questions, because when you say should, it's as though you're sort of giving up your own free will to make these kinds of decisions. So I'm going to just rephrase the question. What will happen if I, what is it, like re-up my certification? If I re-up my certification. So what I'm going to use for that is the letter, and the letter will stand for your certification. So you're essentially not wanting to keep your certification current, whether or not you use it. And how will that be? Okay, so we're going to look for the letter. Remember, too, that I'm going to be doing these readings again on New Year's Eve at 4 p.m. So if I don't get to you then, maybe I'll get to you. If I don't get to you now, maybe I'll get to you then. Yeah, Pacific, 4 p.m. Pacific on New Year's Eve. Okay, so Rosalie, this stands for your certification. You know what? The answer is pretty clear. So we have the whip, we have the fox. This is the certification. We have the house, and we have the anchor. The cards are saying what a great idea this is for you to, because you, as you said, you worked hard for this, to achieve this level of expertise. That's the card for expertise. And we've got the house and the anchor. This work is your this career path is your wheelhouse, and you have a right to plant your flag there. And clearly you're not content with saying, well, I used to do XYZ, I used to do, so 100% I would do it. You worked hard for it, you are an expert in the field. Why not keep your certification current? So the cards are loving the idea of you doing that. Yes.
East Coast Granny. I'm opting out of major surgery. Just wondering if I'm making the right decision.
Okay, again, East Coast Granny. I did go to Harvard, but not Harvard Medical School. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to answer that. I think you made your decision for your own reasons. I hope and trust that they were good ones and that they were in consultation with your actual doctor. But that's not the kind of question that you want to go and ask a reader about, because it's just not appropriate.
Felicia, would you be so kind to advise or provide guidance with work? Unfortunately, it hasn't gone good as I expected.
Okay. Felicia, yeah, we're going to look at your work situation. And so that is the fox. Again, fox card is the work card. And we're going to see what's going on there for you. Okay. Oh, sorry. A little over tilt. I'm sorry it's not going well. It's tough when you're in a difficult work environment. Okay. Interesting. So, sun, birds, this is the job, star, we end with the cross. I'm going to say that, even though I said a couple of minutes ago that the sun is the best card in the deck, nothing is one thing only, right? And so in this case, the star, the sun is awareness. Kind of think of it like a searchlight. So you are aware that there has been talk about on this job about you. Here's the job here. And I think that moving forward, this is the future. That's not the place for you. I can mirror the sun. It's not the place for you, because the sun, this is your awareness. It's not the right place for you. I don't know whether people are being gossipy or whether it's just sort of restructuring or something that's going on, but this is not a happy situation. Listen, new job, new year. It all sounds good to me. Find something else. Find something else.
Jerry, on January 1, I'll be retired after 51 years of work. Any thoughts on where I go from here? FYI, I do not want to start a vineyard.
Is this Jerry? Is that his name?
Jerry.
Jerry, when I retired a few years ago,
I think it's a woman.
I had another friend, and we were retiring around the same time. And we spent a lot of time in advance of retiring thinking about what we wanted to do next. So I think it's good that you're thinking about this now. It gives you something to think about, daydream about, plan for, because the worst thing in the world is to retire and then watch reruns of Jerry Springer. He's not even alive anymore, I think. Anyway, there is a card for retirement, and it is the lily. So let's look at the lily and your retirement. Congratulations, by the way. In 51 years, that's a lot. It's a long time. Oh, Okay, there's our lily, popped right up as the second card. That means I can only put this card in front of it, and that means that there's going to be something else that goes in the middle. And let's see what that is. Okay, so we have the dog, then the retirement card, then this card in the middle. This is the older man in my deck. Scales and child. So I'm going to say that you should do what I did, which is, talk to friends about this. You may have friends, I'm sure, of the same age who are retired or about to retire, and, make this a fun conversation about what you could be doing that's new, because I can mirror this friend card with the child card. Are there people, who with whom you share interests, right? Or something that you've never done, but you have always thought would be fun that you could do with other people. I think that's a great idea. And then we have the lily, that's our retirement card, mirrored with this scales card. So your time will be your own. You won't have to only do something. God, everything's mirrored, so it's hard. For the sake of, a paycheck. Now you can balance that over against what would be fun, what would I love to do, what would make my spirit sing. Now, if you are not a man, or even if you are a man, it doesn't matter. I don't think this is an actual person. I think this is more an energy. And the energy says, kind of, it's reiterating what I said about what are you going to do? Sit down in your recliner and watch Jerry Springer reruns? It's saying, access your yang energy in a mature way and say, now I am king or queen of my own time. That's a great feeling. What is it that I want to do? And do this now, so that you've got, maybe just even a list of things on a yellow pad of things that you'd like to do. And you can sort of, again, daydream about them, add to the list, cross things off, but be intentional. This is a yang card. So it's intentional. It's forward thinking. It's not passive in the way that we often think about retirement. Congratulations and best of luck.
Travels. Do you see me meeting the trustworthy partner this year?
Travels is their name. Travels wants to know if they will meet a trustworthy partner this year. Okay, and I'm assuming that this is, I was going to say romantic, but then I'm thinking, you think it is? Okay, all right, so we're going to look for the heart, and trustworthiness is a thing. It's important. Okay, so I like that adjective. Okay, so we're going to look for the heart and see what kind of partner you're going to meet. Did I miss the heart? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, there's our heart. Okay, interesting cards. Again, we start with the cross. I'm never a fan of that, but that's okay. We have the young woman, the heart, the lily, and the moon. So here's what I want to say. It's always interesting the way people ask their questions. So in the way that you posed your question, the implication is that you may very well have had experiences with partners who have been, we'll just say, less than trustworthy. I would suggest that you are still wounded by this. Also, that you feel somewhat defined by these experiences. and that's something that you need to work on first. Because the last thing that you want to do is layer onto someone new the sins of someone from your past. So you're being asked to address the pain that you experienced from partners or a partner who, as in your words, proved less than trustworthy. So you've got to address this first. I think that this experience or these experiences have left you feeling like this. This is also energy. This is not a person. So this energy is yin energy, and it's passive, it's open, it's receptive, and it's powerless in a lot of ways. Right? You don't want to go into a new relationship without feeling empowered. And the only way that you're going to feel empowered is that you address the pain of what you've been through before and how it has colored who you see yourself as in the world, what you see yourself worthy of in the world. Once you do that, energy will shift, and then the right person will come in for you.
It's an hour. Do you want to keep
Are there a lot of more questions? Okay, you guys, listen. I know I said I was going to stay for an hour. I'm going to stay. Here's my Christmas present, Hanukkah present, whatever. I'm going to stay another half hour. Okay.
So I feel spirit guide around me lately. What is the message?
Okay, that's a good question. So you feel a spirit guide around you. What is the message? So because you phrased it like that, I think I'm gonna let spirit decide all the cards. Okay, so what is the message spirit has for you? And we'll pull 5. All of these spirit driven. Okay. Okay. So we have the lily, we have the heart, we have the bouquet, we have the mice, and we have the tree. I think that spirit is concerned for you, wants you to find peace. I know it's a card for retirement, but it's also the card for peace and ease and comfort. Spirit wants you to know that you are loved. Spirit wants you to know that you are a gift and you have gifts. And they want you to not be so worried and so anxious because, that will take a toll on your health. I can mirror the first card. It's the lily with the tree. I'm trying to get that glare off. Sorry. It's the window. I think that you need to cultivate peace to which you are entitled for the sake of your health. So it's a beautiful message. They just want you to, chill, relax.
Cynthia is 69. She wants to finish her last 2 years of college, trying to decide between English, creative writing, psychology, or social work assistant.
Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 cards for each of those things. This is Cynthia wanting to know. She wants to finish her degree. So
creative writing, psychology, social work.
Okay, so I'm pulling 3 cards for creative writing, 3 cards for psychology,
social work assistant.
Okay, and then 3 cards for social work assistant. Hold on. I'll put those, all right. And we'll just look to see which, whether they're all of a piece or whether some look better than others.
Creative writing.
Yeah, hold on. Creative writing. Okay, so I'm going to say that there are no bad choices. So for creative writing, we have my scales card, we have birds, and we have child. I feel like the creative writing piece is kind of a a lark. Like, geez, if I could do anything, if I had no strictures on me, I would want to do creative writing because I really want to get my work out. I want to know what people think about what I do, but I'm kind of worried about it, anxious. Are they gonna like it? Or are they not gonna like it? This is the card for being judged and all that. But if you're up for that, if it's something that you've always wanted to do, the cards say, why not? Now the second one is psychology. We have the lily, the book, and the tree. I feel like this would be also good. I think you would love it. Feel very comfortable in that field. I think there's a lot about it that you don't know, and that it might take you longer than you think to finish that degree. And then social work assistant, we have the rider, we have the star, and we have the stork. I have to say, I kind of like this the best. Rider is sort of a message coming in. This star, I think that this is a very future-oriented field. There are people of all ages needed in this field. And the stork is positive change. I think you would really enjoy it. So of the three, if I were putting them in order, I would say social work assistant, creative writing, and then psychology I would put last. But they're all good. There's no real downside, except that psychology will take you longer than the other two.
Paulette is planning to move to Georgia in a year. Will her endeavors be a success?
Okay. Well, her endeavors. Her endeavors, which is a different question than the move. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use the ship because it's a move. And the question that I'm asking is, how will this move to Georgia go for you? And I'm not just talking about literally the move, like the moving van. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the new location. How will this new location be for you? Okay. Okay, this is the move to Georgia. And remember, we're looking for the ship. Okay, so we have the house, the mountain, the ship, the birds, and the ring. I want to pull a clarifier, just one on the ring. Okay, so I do think that there may be some delay in actually moving or in finding where you're going to be moving to, like the actual house that you go to. So there may be some delay. Don't worry about that. And then we have birds and ring and bear. I actually really like these cards for you. I think that you may know people there. It may be sort of like a homecoming for you of sorts, even if you've never lived there before. I think it'll feel like a homecoming, and I think you'll have community. And I also think that you will be looked up to, whatever that means for you. That you'll be looked up to by whatever circle you end yourself up in. So I think it's going to be good. This is a card for a boss, right? So you asked about endeavors. For example, if you have business endeavors, this is a good card for that. If you think that moving to Georgia will be financially a better move for you, it will be. So it looks good.
Danny, will I move to Sydney in 2025?
Okay. Again, these yes, no questions, the universe doesn't love those because, again, they're kind of like saying, should I? You know, you'll move to Sydney if you decide to move to Sydney. How about this? How will my plan go to move to Sydney? That's a better way to phrase it. Okay, so again, we're going to use the ship again, but this is your move to Sydney. Okay. Okay, there's the move. I think, yes, you're going to move, and yes, you're going to love it. Here's this beautiful lily card again. The lily is the card for peace, satisfaction, comfort, ease. It's a great card. This is a choice that you will have made. Do I go here? Do I go here? Do I stay here? Do I go there? So I think you've made the decision, and you've made it from a place of where will I feel most peaceful, contented, happy. And then we have the ship, of course, in the middle. And a spirit has a message for you. And the message is, this will be a positive change for you. And I can mirror that with the lily card. So yes, if this is your intention, move. Don't ask anybody's permission. Just do it. And I think it will be a terrific move for you.
Okay. Derwin says hi from Belize, and could he just get a message?
Yeah, sure. So this is from Derwin in Belize. I love that you all are from all over the world. It's nice to have community so far flung. So Derwin would just like a message from Spirit. So I'm going to let Spirit give him the message. Okay. Again, this is not random. I feel for the card that is the right one. Okay. So we have mountain, we have rider. I think this is you, Derwin, in the middle. We have dog, and we have the coffin. So I think that you have been through a time. That's what I think. I think it's been a heavy lift, a hard row to hoe, all the words I could use, all the expressions. I think it's been tough. But there is a message, and I love that the message card popped up for you. And the message is, you're not by yourself. This is the card for friends here and in other realms. That you are supported, guided, loved, cared about, etc. And that this here is the card for transformation. Now, I know it's a coffin, and nobody likes a coffin, except sometimes we do like a coffin, and I'll tell you why. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. In order for something to become something new, it has to first cease being the thing that it was. So if this is what your experience has been of late, that will be transformed. Spirit knows and is giving you this message that they are with you, they care about you, and they are going to work with you to transform this mountain into a smoother path for you.
Will Emily be promoted at work?
Emily be promoted at work? The card for promotion is the bouquet. So that's the card I'm going to look for. Will Emily be promoted at work is the question. Okay, so this is the card for a promotion for Emily. Okay, so we have child, we have star, we have bouquet, we have house, and we have bear. I'm going to say yes, but not right away. I think that she's still considered too new to promote, but I do think if she stays there in the future, yes, she will be promoted. It's always a good idea to make a good impression on the boss. I think right now the boss thinks that she is possibly too young or too new to promote to the position that she herself has in mind. But I think in time that promotion will happen.
Heidi in Connecticut, wondering if there's new work in financial prosperity on the horizon 2025.
Okay, Heidi wants to know about new work and prosperity, but I'm just going to look for new work with an eye towards, you don't want to work for peanuts. So, new, what's a good word for it? New,
opportunity.
Well, no, new work that is lucrative for you. All right, and we're going to use the fox for that card. For that question. Until I'm getting tired. Okay, fox. Deep in the deck. Unless I pat. No, I thought, okay. All right, so this stands for work. Lucrative work. This is interesting. We have the stars, we have you, there's work, the scythe, and crossroads. I suspect that moving forward, you may decide to take on a side gig. And I say that because that's the card for a crossroads. Crossroads is the card for a side gig. Scythe is about making a decision. So you may, if there's something that you really love, that you really want to get into, take it on as a side gig, because I think that that's something that could grow into the kind of lucrative work that you want. There's a movie called The Great Debaters, and with Denzel Washington, and he teaches his debaters. It's a small Southern Black debate team. And they go on to beat my alma mater, Harvard. But when he was coaching them, he had them say this motto, which was, we do what we have to do so that we can do what we want to do. And I'm suggesting that you take on, work in your dream area as a side gig, because I think in the future, that could be the lucrative work that you love doing. Do what you have to do till you can do what you want to do.
Will Marianne be moving out of New York City next year?
The question is, will Marianne be moving out of New York City next year? So again, we will use the ship for a move. It was cloudy when we started out, but you all have brought the sun in. Okay. This is Marianne and a move out of New York City. Oh, whoop. You know, I don't know why I'm always so surprised when this happens, but this is the first card. That means it's not going to be the center card. It's the first card. So that, and that. Okay. I may have to pull a clarifier or two. So here's the move. Clearly, this is something, Marianne, that you want. You know, whoops. The bouquet. You want this move. This may be you. And then we have the mice and the book. You know, I'm going to say this. It's going to sound very woo-woo, but I mean, I am reading cards, so which is that the universe's language is not so much verbal as it is vibrational. So that means that you don't want to wish for something and at the same time come up with 10,000 reasons why it can't happen, because you confuse the universe. The universe ends up saying, well, I mean, I don't know. Does she want it or does she not want it? Because on the one hand, she's saying she wants it, but then she's telling me 10 reasons why she can't have it. So in terms of a move, I feel like it's very interesting the way you phrase the question. You phrase the question, will there be a move out of New York City? Now that's away from, right? It makes me feel like, okay, so here's the move. And then we have the book. Remember, books about what we don't know. Like move, not so much from, we get that. You know where you're moving from. But where do you intend to go to? I think vibrationally, if you set your intention on a particular destination, that will make things easier for the universe. The second card is the bouquet. I know you want to move. It would be a gift to you. But look, here you go again, vibrationally saying, oh, but I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't know where to go. Figure out where you want to go so that the universe can say, oh, okay, I've got my blinders on. I'm not paying attention to anything else except the fact that she wants to move from where she is, which is New York, to this particular place for this particular purpose. You want to morph these two cards into cards that are more definitive, more optimistic, and more intentional.
Jamberries does not have a question, but they want to thank you for the Sunday conversation with Sheila Height.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm glad you watched it. Listen, you all, if you want to do me a solid, go watch that conversation because I think it was really important. Sheila Height is a terrific astrologer and just a wonderful, wonderful, magical human being. And, it's only an hour. And so maybe after we are done here, you would do me a solid and go watch that.
Betty, I'm 52, about to be 53 in April of 26. Retiring 6/1/26 from state job, happily professional, but will I finally get married?
Betty, we didn't need to know all that. But who?
Betsy.
Betsy, we didn't need to know all that preamble. I'm getting my head all in work mode or retirement mode, but you want to know about love. And that's fine. That's fine. Let's look at love for you. Okay, so we're looking for the heart. Oh, we're not looking for the heart. Yes, you want to get married. There's a card for that. And I'm sure you can imagine it's the ring. So that's the card we're going to look for. Okay. So we're looking for the ring, and that will stand for marriage. Okay, there's the ring. Well, I mean, I hope you have a person in mind because it looks like, yes, we have the whip, we have the stork, we have the ring, we have the stars, and we have Clover. Yes. So, I mean, again, hopefully you have somebody in mind and you're not just wanting to marry the first person that comes along. But yes, I do see you marrying on retirement. Yeah, 2026. That's nice.
Ken wants to know how his wife feels about the voicemails and videos he sent expressing his love for her on a deeper and spiritual level.
Oh, that's so sweet. All right. We will look for your wife. I'll use the older woman only because you're married, and I'm not saying she's old. It's a more settled energy than the young woman. So we want to know from her perspective, right, how she feels about your declarations of undying affection. All right. How is Ken's wife feeling about his declarations? So we're looking for the woman. Okay, so we have the anchor, the mountain. Here's your wife, the coffin, and the heart. Ken, my man, you're going to have to do a little bit more than declarations of love. You have to do more. We have the first card is the anchor. An anchor can be good or not good. It depends, no card has meaning until you pair it with another card. And here we have this anchor, and the next card is the mountain. So clearly, there's been an issue between you, let me just say, that has probably been the precipitating reason why you felt you had to write these notes to her. She's in the middle, and then we have the coffin and we have the heart. Now I can mirror, so I'm going to do this. Listen, after I said all that, I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you. I do think she loves you. I think you've probably been together for a while, and she does love you. But I also think you have to change. And I think you may have indicated that you would change before and then didn't. This is the card for transformation. Talk, Ken, is cheap. Don't tell, show. And over time. I don't think all is lost, but I don't think, love letters are going to do the trick. Okay, this is the last question.
This is from Jamberries. What can I do to overcome my challenges surrounding work and being disabled?
Okay. They want to know what can they do around their challenges regarding work and being disabled. I think I'm going to put the cross as the card that we're going to look for, because it's a difficult situation, right? So what can you do about this cross that you have to bear? Okay, so I'm going to cut. And this is the last question. I'm going to be back again New Year's Eve. And as you know, I'm already on YouTube quite a bit, so look for me there. If there are political or social questions that you'd like me to look at, leave them for me in my last video, and I will try to address them. So this is the difficult situation that you're going through. I think that you need some help. You need some help from other people, whoever those are, to make you feel powerful. I had a client one time, and she was quite old, and she'd been a psychotherapist her whole life, and she couldn't do that work anymore, and her body was failing. And she asked, what can I do? How can I serve? What can I offer? And and the cards showed that one of the things that she could do is let people give to her. Right? People want to be able to be helpful. People want to feel needed. Uh, and sometimes that's hard for our egos to tolerate, right? But it's a gift that you give if you let people help you. And this may be, a new thing for you or a new way of looking at this. But I do think that there will be people coming in who will help you feel stronger, empowered, useful, and viable. So hold on to that hope. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everyone. I will do this again, New Year's Eve, as I said. And in the meantime, just watch me on YouTube because I'm there a couple of times a week, 3 times a week. Have a wonderful Sunday and have a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate. And I will see you all very soon. Take care.